accessibility and enhance your park experience. It also helps the loons, the eagles, the sea lions, and the park goers stay wild. So you can too. Choose a BC Parks license plate and help the wild thrive. Learn more at bcparks.ca/license plate. A message from the government of BC.
Drain Rock Industries specializes in yard drainage solutions, foundation crack repairs, hydro flushing, and video inspection services. For all your drainage needs, call Drain Rock Industries at 604-582-7522 or visit drainrockindustries.com. Mr. Swirl, the friendly plumber, is your one-stop shop for all residential and commercial plumbing needs. Proudly Canadian-owned for more than 25 years. Get the job done right. Contact MrSwirlPlumbing.com today.
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck or chance. How can you tell who you can trust? Process. The BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
A well-designed fire safety plan helps both occupants and first responders in coping with emergency situations. Get protected with Bartech. Bartech Fire Safety will develop a fire safety plan specifically for your strata or commercial property, ensuring both residents and first responders have the information they require. Serving Metro Vancouver for more than 40 years, you can trust the experts at Bartech. Get a free estimate at bartechfire.com. That's bartechfire.com.
Representation in media is important.
There's a lot of people with disabilities that don't feel seen.
I'm a music producer. Having a disability is not really showing up in the industry.
I make media representing women in wheelchairs.
AMI is a broadcaster that strives to change the way people think about disability.
I'm a very loud and proud deaf woman, and I want to be able to make a difference.
Watch inclusive and accessible content on AMI TV or stream now at amiplus.ca.
Don't miss your chance to slow down at Vancouver Aquarium's limited time exhibit. Meet adorable sloths, hedgehogs, and turtles, and learn why taking it easy just might be the greatest survival strategy. Survival of the Slowest, open now through Labor Day. Book now at vancouveraquarium.com.
Here's what's happening on CKNW.
The Vancouver Aquarium is hosting an adult-only Fish and Sips Night Saturday, August 9th. Win a pair of tickets on Mornings with Simi. Thursdays on The Jill Bennett Show has your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Bard on the Beach. The PME Fair returns to Hastings Park Saturday, August 16th. Win a pair of gate and ride passes with the Jazz Jill Hall Show all week.
To find out more, go to cknw.com.
When your therapist won't take your calls anymore, there's always the last show with David Cooper.
Suppose tiny everyday actions like thanking someone or quickly helping a stranger could actually boost your mental health. Well, they can, according to new research, and these acts are called micro-actions. And today's guest, Emiliana Simon-Thomas, will explain how these small, joyful habits can make a big difference in emotional well-being after just 1 week. She is the science director at the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley. Emiliana, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
So, tiny micro-actions, why look into this as a source of one's well-being? What got you curious about studying this area in the first place?
Well, a lot of people think that changing your well-being is either completely out of your reach, right? That it's just something that you're born with or you're lucky enough to have, or a number of different reasons that are outside of your control. But actually, people can change their own well-being. But again, historically, the actions for that have been pretty extensive. So maybe one study or one trainer or one book says you have to decide to make this wholehearted, extensive change in your life. You have to begin to meditate for 30 minutes a day, every day, for the next 4 months, and then maybe you'll start to see a little bit of change. There are a number of different options out there, and they really tend to work. They tend to be effective, but they tend to be hard for people to take on.
Sure.
Tend to be too much time, too much effort. And so me and my team at UCSF, in partnership with a couple of filmmakers and social activists, come up with a program that would be really easy. You could just kind of quickly swap it into your day and try a few things and see what happens.
I like what you touched upon there, the self-help industrial complex. Like, all these books telling you methods that might work, but they require 25 hours out of every day, or rapid paradigm shifts in your life. I like to think of well-being and doing things to improve my well-being as like a little bit more of this, a little bit less of that. Gradual changes. And that's why I love your study, because you can fit it in that frame. It's just something you can do a little bit more. So let's get into the basics here. What are some of the micro actions that can help people feel better if they do them?
Yeah, I mean, David, you already mentioned one of them, and that is gratitude. And so we invite people in 7 minutes or less, but usually it's a lot less, to write down 8 things that they're grateful for. Just write it down. And gratitude helps you to think about goodness in your life. From far away up in the clouds and recognize that little moment of adversity is pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. It's a way to recover. We invite people to reflect on their ability to be heroic, right? Just for like a minute and a half, listen to a person guide you through this reflection of how good and strong and impactful you are in the world. We invite people to watch a video that inspires awe, right? That puts you into that place of recognizing that there is vastness in the world. There are experiences out there that evoke or spark your sense of wonder and curiosity. And all of these experiences, just a tiny bit of time, quickly shift how you're thinking, what you're thinking about in terms of your own identity, in terms of other people, and in terms of the world, in terms of the globe. One of our findings is that people, after 1 week, feel more generous. They're more willing to help others who are in need. They're more willing to make sacrifices to their quality of life in order to uplift the welfare of others and the natural environment. So there are these ways that just, again, these little tiny swap in, a little bit more of this, I like how you said it, and a little bit less of that, tends to just help you walk and breathe through the world in a more balanced, contented, and pro-social way. And pro-social, it's kind of a weird word, but it basically means the opposite of antisocial. It's being concerned with and interested in serving the welfare of others.
I like this idea of watching Carl Sagan narrate a space documentary as making me feel smaller, but also the world being bigger. You said one of your goals of this is to have a well-being program that people would actually stick with. When you suggest this to people, this micro-action style, do they end up sticking with it?
That's one part of the story we don't know yet, David, because we haven't gathered data from people in a longitudinal way. This project was only designed for, come and join, tell us something about yourself and what's going on in your life. Here's 7 days, and at the end of 7 days, answer a few more questions about yourself again and your experience. We haven't done the follow-up 3 months later, 6 months later, so we really don't know about that. We're super interested. We're always trying to find research funding. I'm sure every scholar that you interview says the same thing, and that's what we need in order to do that kind of measurement. We hope so. We hope that the activities are relatable and accessible and kind of natural feeling enough that doing it even just once has its own reinforcing quality. Like if you do just try the random acts of kindness, I mean, it's not just a bumper sticker in Berkeley, California. If you just decide, I'm going to do 3 things today that really just make somebody else smile, and you reap the benefit of that, it feels really good. Next time you find yourself in a position to do that, you're just more likely to. But again, that's really just a hypothesis that I can't wait for us to have the opportunity to test.
Well, does it help everybody equally? Like, are people from different socioeconomic backgrounds, do they benefit from these micro actions more? Am I more likely to see, like, boosted mood or boosted well-being if I'm a certain kind of person, if I'm a certain kind of group?
I mean, that was one of the questions we were so interested in trying to discover something around. We asked everybody about themselves, and we looked at differences between people based on what they told us. And in fact, people who are younger seem to benefit more from doing a whole week of little micro acts in service of their own well-being. People who are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds tended to get more benefit from engaging with Big Joy. People who with lesser educational outcomes. So, I mean, it's interesting because positive psychology historically tends to be more studied and understood by a more privileged population. And so our study actually provided some of the first evidence to show that, this isn't something that we only save for people who already have a lot of their needs met. In fact, it can be really beneficial to people who actually aren't having all of the advantages and privileges that we hope everybody could have.
I gotta ask, on a personal note, what's your go-to micro-active joy? Like when you're having a rough day or when you want to boost your mood, what's one that really works well for you?
Definitely the awe. Definitely I'll go outside, I'll look at a tree, I'll look at chickens. I happen to have chickens in my backyard. I'll just watch them and wonder, like, what is going on? What does it mean when they dance around and peck at each other and chase in this way that I can't understand? Any kind of growing plant is just a moment of groundedness and inspiration for me. So awe is my go-to.
For me, it's gratitude journaling, which really helps me. Like, my spirit animal is Larry David. I'm curmudgeonly, I'm negative. But when I gratitude journal, I do feel a lot better. It boosts my mood, and I feel like less of a selfish jerk. But that's enough about me. Emiliana, thanks for sharing your research. I appreciate this chat, and I'm grateful that you came on the show.
Thank you, David. So nice to meet with you and speak with you.
Emiliana Simon Thomas is a science director at the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley in California. Coming up after the break, ticks are infecting pets with Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and humans are next. This disease does not cause Rocky Mountain spots, but fever, and it can be deadly if it's not caught. Stay with us.
Resident real estate expert John Carlson of 2% Realty West Coast. Well, now you can enjoy a full hour of real estate know-how with a new topic every week. More about how TikTok is helping small businesses in Canada make a big impact.
Come on.
Hi there, it's Eugene Levy, your sleep daddy, here to help you get serious about sleep.
Whether it's pillows that are past their prime, mattresses that just don't support you anymore, or sheets that are too heavy, a good night's sleep starts with the right sleep essentials. For a limited time, get 30% off almost everything. So get serious about sleep event. On now, only at Sleep Country.
Your sleep will play safe.
Restrictions apply. Speak to your sleep expert for details. ITV takes cares about your safety, which is why we partner on over 300 road safety improvements every year throughout BC, like crosswalks.
unclear, but the content's crystal clear. Dr. Cliff Redford, veterinarian. Check out his podcast, Vet Life with Dr. Cliff is here. I started a sentence, and then I added a lot in the middle, but I ended it properly. Dr. Cliff is here. We are going to discuss a fever that could be happening to you. If you are feeling rocky, if you are feeling mountain, if you've got spots, you might have Rocky Mountain fever. How to avoid it, what it is, and other questions answered. Cliff, welcome to the show.
How you doing, man? I need to get you to follow me around and introduce me when I walk in the room.
It's a lot of words with not a lot of it's a lot of I feel like British people are like that. You have a conversation with a friend, you're like, wow, they said so much, and then you think about what they said, it wasn't much at all.
That is exactly my point. You fit introducing me perfectly. I say a lot of words, but I don't really say anything, though.
Where should I be worried about contracting Rocky Mountain spotted fever?
Spotted fever, anywhere near the Rocky Mountains, I guess.
Wow.
There you go.
Well, I feel like West Nile, you know, you can get on West Nile, you know,
It has spread.
not crazy.
It has spread. You are 100% right. I apologize. I was wrong. You were right.
Yeah, the middle of the, what, 1900s?
Get it out that thing.
Yeah. All right, so where can you get the Rocky Mountain?
Kind of the way to help. I can do that. The big issue right now is with the spread, the Rocky Mountain spotted fever bacteria from Lyme, Listeria, and all kinds of serious diseases. And it's got fever. We're seeing a lot more of them. And public health experts are now starting to diagnose specifically Rocky Mountain spotted fever a lot more frequently. Generally around the sort of northern part of southern Ontario and northern, like New York State.
That's up the Rockies.
I know. You're right. This is it. You were right, David.
Wow, even a
Right.
broken clock should be thrown away because it's broken.
Okay.
It's scary. They're so scary. And it's just like, yeah, it's a fever, yeah, it's a headache, yeah, it's like chills, you know, that kind of thing. But 1 in 20 people who are affected die as a result. This is a no-joke fever.
It's a no-joke fever. Lyme disease, which is different, but also spread by ticks, and Rocky Mountain spotted fever, it can kill you. If you do not get real doctor advice, real doctor intervention, human doctor intervention, veterinarians can treat animals for this, but animals generally don't die from these diseases.
So if my kick is sick, I can bring you to cure it.
You could. Yeah, you could. I just released it back to this. No, I would give it a nice. But no, you need to prevent this. You need to have your pet on a tick preventative because the pets can pick it up and then later bring the ticks into your house. But also, wear light-colored clothing. Tuck your pants into your socks. That's a look that's really cool these days, right? I'm a cool guy. That's what we were saying before this show started. Something like that. And if you gotta have a shower after you go on a hike. You have showers after you hike?
I'm not the most hygienic person in the world, but I don't hike. I don't care for nature. I don't really. I see pictures of nature. That's enough. I like a grimy city with smog and pollution. But to me, that's
And no tick.
well, that's actually not altogether true. Sometimes it can be rare. My friend got the chronic Lyme from a tick that was moving his dog. Got it from that. So he would just go hiking. So
Yeah, and you're in New York, Central Park, well, that's its star. And yeah, I think this is proof that Mother Nature is fighting back. They're like, all right, argue if you want. Are we supposed to eat meat? There's ethical reasons. There's environmental reasons why we shouldn't. But they probably eat too much meat in Texas. And so Mother Nature is saying, all right, for you guys, you've just taken this too far, out of control. I am going to give you guys, some of you guys, the disease that turns you into a vegan. I don't know if then you get weird tattoos on your body and a pierced nose and blue hair. I'm not sure. Or you speak in upspeak. I don't know if it changes the inflection of your voice. But you become a vegan for a while because it basically, it injects into you or barfs into you. It sort of puts it through its mouth into your bloodstream. A protein that causes you to become allergic to beef protein. So not a true vegan, because you can still eat chicken and pork and things like that. But I just like to say it causes veganism because it is kind of funny.
It's wild, and it lasts like, what, 6-8 months, up to 5 years? You get bit by a tick, you can't eat red meat. It's wild.
Yeah, and I mean, this might be the cure for heart disease and cholesterol problems. So it's like leeches in the old days. But they still use leeches. They use it for improving blood circulation when you have like a amputated finger reattached. They will stick medically grade leeches onto your fingers that are aseptic and clean and grown in a laboratory specifically for this purpose. Humans would not be
business bureau. But depending on what you need, it's the better plumber bureau, the better auto mechanic bureau, the better accountant bureau. That's because the BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as better check that business out first so you don't get ripped off bureau. Smart. Always look for the BBB because it's looking out for you. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
So tired, man.
Yeah.